Hi, I'm Chris Harding. I'm the Open Group Forum Director for SOA and Semantic Interoperability and Cloud Computing. So my role is to support the work of our members on those topics. Well, the SOA work group was formed a long time ago, back in 2005, and its objectives have kind of gradually changed over that time period. Its objectives always have been to support and encourage the development of SOA based on open standards. Initially, a lot of our work was around getting involved with what SOA is about, understanding what SOA is about. Over the course of the intervening 7 years, we've produced a number of open group standards and guides on SOA, and we're now moving actually into a rather interesting phase. On the one hand, we are promoting and maintaining the work that we've already done. On the other hand, we're detecting now a resurgence of interest in SOA, driven, we think, by the force of cloud computing. So we're, if you like, trying to make sense of SOA in that new context and to look at how SOA might perhaps need to change and evolve in current circumstances. Our most recent publication from the SOA work group is the Guide to Legacy Evolution to SOA. This is a matter of great concern to many organizations. Many enterprises have legacy systems which were produced long before SOA was ever thought of, and are looking to update them to a more modern context and to apply principles of service orientation. So this guide that we have published gives some very practical help and advice on how to go about this. Well, we formed, in fact, a new project on SOA for business technology, and this is addressing something that has been a concern in the SOA community ever since the early days. One of the first things that was said about service orientation, that it was going to bridge the gap between the technical and the business communities in the enterprise, and actually that hasn't really happened, but we now believe that the conditions are better. The technology for SOA is a lot better, so you don't have to worry about it, for one thing, and there's a lot of better understanding about how SOA contributes to business objectives. So our aim is to document that and again produce best practice in our SOA for business technology guide. And that's a specific thing. As I mentioned previously, we're also looking in more general terms at how SOA now fits into the overall distributed services architecture that enterprises are embarking on with cloud computing. So another important thing that we're doing going forward is reflecting or inputting the work that we've done in the Open Group into international standardization activities in ISO. The Open Group is an industry standards body. ISO is a de jure standards body, which in fact draws a lot of its strength from being able to take input documents from industry bodies such as the Open Group. And the Open Group has PAS submitter status with ISO, under which we submitted the OSIM, Open Group Service Integration Maturity Model standard, which has now become recognized as an ISO PAS standard, and we're in process of submitting the SOA governance framework, which has now passed its critical ballot in ISO, and we expect to achieve approved status shortly. And that work has been done largely by one of our co-chairs. We have two co-chairs, by the way, of the SOA work group, Heather Krieger of IBM and Mats Genjeval of Capgemini. And Heather has been representing us as liaison in ISO and has been instrumental in gaining approval for the OSIM and for the, we hope, for the governance framework going forward. If you want to find out what the SOA work group is doing in detail and to get involved and contribute to our activities, then the easiest thing to do is to write to me in the first instance, c.harding@opengroup.org. We have the ability now with Plato to self-subscribe to mail lists, and you can self-subscribe to the SOA mail list and gain access to the SOA workgroup Plato pages, where we put all the information about what our projects are doing. So that's a good thing to do in general terms. And as I say, if you want any specific advice on who to connect to or how to get started, I'm more than happy to provide that.